How's it going, guys? This is Holly with Grindworx, and today we are talking about 5 hunting knives under $60. Now, I will be the first to admit that I'm not a hunter, so don't take anything I say in this video to be expertise by any stretch of the imagination. I've tagged along on some hunts, and I'm partway through my hunter safety course. Plan on doing some hunting in the future, but yeah, not super experienced, don't know a whole lot. So this is the time for you guys to chime in the comments and help educate me and everybody else watching. But I did ask around, I kind of consulted with some of the people I work with here, and they kind of steered me in the right direction on some of these knives. So here are 5 picks for good hunting knives under $60. First off, we have the Gerber Gator. And this one I found really interesting right off the bat because it has no opener. There's no thumb stud, no nail nick, flipper, nothing. This is probably the most simple and straightforward knife I have ever seen. It runs right around $40 right now, and it's about 8.5 inches long with a 3 3/4 inch blade. That's 154 cm steel. Pretty typical for a knife like this. That's a drop point style with a full flat grind and a bead blast finish. We have a GFN handle here that is extremely grippy, very rubbery feeling, so really locks in well and kind of sticks to your hand in a way that I haven't had very many knife handles do. So I imagine that you're using this hunting, maybe you're in wet conditions, it gets a little messy while you're using it. I think that is an excellent feature to have, that it is so grippy, because I think that it will probably maintain a lot of that grip and a lot of that friction, even in those wet or messy conditions. You can see that we have a lock back here, so very, very strong lock. And one of the things I love about it is that it has basically a half stop. You release that lock and the blade stops halfway, so a good feature to safeguard your fingers as you are unlocking and closing your blade there. It does include this nylon belt sheath. Pretty simple and straightforward as well. This feels like a solid knife. I don't really understand the choice to not have an opener, because that basically forces you to use 2 hands, but it's also a large knife. I'm not sure how easily this would open with one hand. Anyways, I don't really have any complaints about it. I do think it's a little bit big to be terribly versatile, but it does have a very nice belly, so I think it's going to be pretty good, as a pretty good skinner, pretty good slicing as you're using it. I wish that it had more of a sharpening choil, and I think some jimping would be nice, somewhere to brace your finger, or even if you wanted to kind of choke up on it and have somewhere to place your finger as you're doing some of that finer work, but all around a good basic hunting knife. Next up, we have one from Boker. This is the Boker Plus Outdoorsman. It runs right up there at that $60 mark, $59.99 on the site. 9.5 inches long with a 4.65 inch blade. This is 12C27 MOV in a drop point style with a hollow grind and a satin finish. It's got a nice polymer handle that it's not quite as grippy as the Gerber over here, but it's got that same nice rubberized texture to it. And it does have a full tang, as you can see. It extends out the back there and has a couple lanyard holes drilled in. This is 7.9 ounces, so a little heftier than the Gerber Gator. I'm not actually sure that I mentioned the weight. This is 4.4 ounces. So basically half a pound right here. And it includes this Cordura sheath, which I really like. It has a few different ways. It has a few different carry options. It feels like good quality. You're not just slipping the knife into nylon webbing. There is some sort of polymer insert down there to protect the nylon, or the Cordura, to protect it from the blade. And it does have this additional pocket here where you could throw, maybe a ferro rod or a sharpening stone, or, any other little supplies you wanted to carry on you. So decent sheath. As far as the knife goes, it has great weight and balance. I like that it's heavier than the Gerber. That actually might be one point against the Gerber, is that even though it's big, it doesn't have a lot of weight behind it. And I mean, there are some times when, as you're processing a game animal, you need to have a little bit of that weight behind you. Let's just put it that way. Maybe it's a larger animal, and some of that is harder to get through, a little tougher. I like the stock on the blade. This kind of swedge up here towards the tip is a nice touch. Probably helps with that balance I was talking about. The handle does provide good grip, as I said, although I do wish it had a little bit more of a palm swell. It is a tad narrow and feels kind of squarish in the hand. I think that if it just swelled a little bit more, that would be slightly more comfortable. And again, not really a sharpening choil there to speak of. And I would assume when you're hunting, that's a knife you're going to carry and use, maybe not all the time, but with the kind of tasks that you're doing when you're hunting, you're going to need to sharpen it up and touch up your edge. And that's just a little bit easier when you have a choil. But again, I'm not an expert. Maybe there's a reason to kind of leave that out. Like the Gerber Gator, I would like to see some jimping on the spine of the blade somewhere, but we do have a little bit built into the handle to help with the grip there. So I think all in all, considering the price and the size and what you're getting, I mean, the quality is, clearly you can see the quality is very nice. So I think this would be a good option as well. Next, we have a smaller contender. This is the Browning Buckmark Hunter. Very pretty little knife. It's just under $20 right now, $18.99. It's only 7 inches overall with a 3-inch blade. That's 8CR13 MOV in a drop point style. We've got a hollow grind and a pretty shiny polished finish there. I am loving this wood handle. It's absolutely beautiful. And then we've got stainless steel liners here. It's 3.2 ounces, so very lightweight. And then it's got a tip-down carry pocket clip, which has the nice Browning logo there built into it. I like that it's a deep carry. And then we've also got a lanyard hole down there through the pommel. I really like the classic styling of this. It looks and it feels in the hand very much like a traditional knife. It's got great fit and finish. The action is very nice and smooth. Let me show you the centering real quick. Spot on centering. I love the open construction. I feel like that's going to be ideal for maintenance and cleaning because, if you're using this for hunting, it's going to get messy. I think it's a good size. It would probably be great for your detail work, and there's that jimping I was looking for. It would be even better if they put some a little closer to the point of the blade there. When it comes down to it, though, I have to say I don't think that this is something I would carry for hunting. I would probably prefer a different handle material because as nice as this feels, it's very smooth, and I feel like if any moisture gets on that, it's going to go slick really quickly. And the last thing you want when you're using your knife is slippery conditions. So beautiful knife, very, has a lovely traditional feel to it. And if that's your jam, I definitely wouldn't steer you away, but probably not something I would personally use. And could not have a hunting video without a buck knife. Just couldn't do it. So here we have the Buck Skinner fixed blade knife. This one runs right about $60 as well. It's 8 1/4 inches with a 4-inch blade. That's 420 steel in a drop point style with a hollow grind and a satin finish. We've got a diamond wood handle, and I've never heard of this before, but I looked it up so I can tell you what it is. This is Duralumin bolsters. Essentially, that's just a type of aluminum. It's an alloy. It's 4.3 ounces, so fairly lightweight in spite of its size. And then a leather sheath is included. Manufacturer notes say it's leather. I do have to say it doesn't feel like leather. It feels a little, plasticky. So I I would not bet on this actually being leather, but it is a decent sheath. The material feels like it's good quality. It's thick. It's stitched well. And to be frank, I'm not sure that leather is something you want to have out in the elements too much. Leather takes a little bit more maintenance, whereas it's a little bit more wear and tear friendly. Let's put it that way. Like you're going to be able to put this on your belt and just forget about it. But back to the knife, I feel like this is a really good in-between size. Not huge, not small. It's very comfortable. It has some very slight choils ground into the handle there. Nice placement for your fingers, so a good solid grip there. Very comfortable, and it's very pretty, I have to say. That traditional look really catches your eye. And the thing that's really cool is that they've achieved this traditional look using modern, better wearing materials. So like diamond wood, for instance, there's no such tree anywhere. Diamond wood is basically layers of wood that have been glued and pressed together under very high heat. So you end up with material that looks like wood, but it performs more like a polymer. So it wears well. It's not going to warp or swell or anything like that if it gets wet. I'm really interested in this blade shape. I think that's clearly very deliberate, and I think it would be very effective. The way it kind of sweeps upward towards that slight drop point, but then this really wide belly. I can just see really getting in there and being able to slice through material really well with that blade. Again, the jimping is missing for me, but I feel like that's a minor mark. So if traditional is more your style, I'd say this is right up your alley. Not quite utilitarian enough for me, but a beautiful knife. And I have saved my favorite for last. This right here is called the Gerber Vital Big Game Folding Knife. It's $48.99 currently. Always make sure you check the site for current prices. This is one of the most interesting knives I've seen. It's got a total length of 10 inches. You can see it opens by thumb stud and has a half stop, which is really handy when you're closing it. So 10 inches overall, but most of that is actually handle. The blade itself is 3.75 inches long. It's 420 J2 steel. They're calling this a drop point style blade with a flat grind and a satin finish. As you saw, it has a thumb stud opener, and then we have an ABS, which is a type of polymer handle. I'm assuming stainless steel liners. We have our lock back. There is a tip down carry pocket clip, and you saw the sheath. Now the sheath, again, pretty basic, pretty simple, just a belt sheath. But exactly what you need to carry this knife, because it also comes, you've probably noticed, that's a detachable blade. These are disposable blades. So this set actually comes with replacement blades. You get 4 replacement blades there, and you have a case to put your old dull blades in as you use them up. So that's really handy. You have them right there, so you're processing, feel like your blade is getting dull, time to move on to a new one. So I'm going to show you briefly how that works. So that there is the thumb stud, and this might actually be a design flaw. The button to eject the blade is right next to it. So I'm going to be careful here because these blades are practically like scalpels. Just push that there, and the blade comes right off. So very easy system. I just think maybe the placement of that button could have been better because as you're opening it, it's rather easy to let your thumb kind of glide over that spot. You don't want to eject a blade as you're opening it. So let's say this is your new let's say this is your new blade. You're just gonna stick it on like that. Depress the button again. You'll see that sort of spring mechanism allows the blade to come back all the way. Release it, locks it into place. So in there nice and solid. So my thoughts on this one, love that it's a lockback. That makes a lot of sense. The last thing you want when you're out there in the wild processing game is having your lock fail on you. because then you might as well not have a knife. Again, I love the half stop. So protecting you from slamming that thing shut on your fingers. Centering is a bit off, but that is purposeful. That is simply how the knife is built, with your blade installed on the side there. But it doesn't rub against the handle, so that's fantastic. A little bit tricky for me to get open with how big it is, but great grip, very rubbery handle. I would probably personally remove the pocket clip just to keep it out of the way and ensure I don't get any hot spots as I'm using it. And the one thing they did really well with this knife that was kind of a miss on all the others was the jimping. So this is really interesting here, how they've placed jimping in just the right places. It almost helps you know how you should hold the knife. So there's a place to put your thumb, and then if you really want to get in there to do some fine work, you choke up on it, got your finger on the jimping up there, your middle and ring finger kind of in that larger choil, and it's quite comfortable in this position. Makes a lot of sense. So very functional design. It works really well. I imagine that this would work really well in the field, and I have heard from several other hunters that they love these disposable blade systems. They're super thin, razor sharp, but easy to replace, so no stopping to sharpen. As soon as you need to replace it, you do, and you're ready to go. Again, just wish they'd put that button in a different place, but I mean, I'm no knife designer. I'm not exactly sure what you would do differently there. So if any of you have used other systems similar to this, because I know this is not the only one, I would love to hear your thoughts about this knife and others like it. So this one gets my vote. I think it's the most versatile. I think it's the best design. Then again, it probably won't be doing any chopping, so it may be a good idea to have this for some of your finer work and one of these heftier blades for those heftier tasks, shall we say. But it's very convenient, very functional. So I'm very pleased with that. So that is all I have for today, but I would love to hear your thoughts. Let me know, what's your favorite hunting knife? And which of these do you think you'll be taking on your next hunting trip? If you enjoyed this video, make sure you give it a thumbs up, subscribe, and hit that notification bell so you're the first to know when a new video drops. I'll link these knives in the description below. And of course, jump on grindworx.com. We've got dozens more hunting knives available to look at there. Even better, join the email list, and every time we have something new or an awesome knife deal going, it'll come straight to your inbox. Thanks so much for watching, guys. See you next time.